Next, I'm going to bring up Pat Reddy. Pat's with American Changer. And if any of you guys have an American Changer here today, let us know. And we'll see. We have some things possibly for you. So Pat's going to explain what's in this box behind door number 3. But Pat, go right ahead. Thank you very much. American Changer has been in business 20 years now? Over 20 years. We've been doing business with American Changer for over 20 years now. They make a very high-quality changer also. And I'll let Pat tell you a little bit more about the product and what American has to offer. Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, I brought up one of our brochures, and I just wanted to show you that we as well offer or manufacture a complete line of changers, both front load and rear load. The changers range from accepting dollar bills to $5 bills to $20 bills, paying back quarters, paying back bills, paying back coins, paying back tokens. So when it comes to making change, we have every kind of changer that you could possibly imagine or need in any variation. And if we don't have it yet and you have a special need, we'll make it. We manufacture all of our own boxes and cabinets, so we've done a lot of custom work for customers that have had special needs when they're making a change. One of the things that I think we've been hearing a lot about here is that, yes, there's alternative payment systems, and yes, there's a lot of other methods that people are using to make payment in the laundry system, but you're not moving away from a changer. You still need a bill changer there. You still need to make sure that that changer operates and that there's enough change in there so that your customers can purchase the services that you're doing. One of the things, though, that along with that, we also offer a bill counter, very competitively priced bill counter. So if you have lots of dollar bills and you're tired of going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that, $299. High quality counter, does a great job. It has high security, 3 forms of counterfeit detection. So you can make sure that you're taking $150 to the bank and just not relying on them to count that money for you. We also have a coin counting scale, which rather than running all of the coins through a counter, you can just simply pour all the coins into a plastic bucket, set them on the scale, and it'll tell you exactly how many dollars worth of quarters that you have again. A lot of banks now are accepting coins in bags rather than taking the time to roll them all up, so this makes it real easy for you just to put the coins in a bag, know exactly what you got in there, take it to the bank, deposit your money. Before I move on to the next thing, any questions on anything? I'm making this very brief because I know we're trying to keep up on time here, but any questions on any of our changers so far or these 2 items? Any? Okay. Then, next of all, one of the things that Brian had mentioned in his presentation, and of course now we spent a lot of time again talking about the alternative payment systems, Brian had mentioned tokens, and not to be discounting tokens because they are being used more and more in laundries, and for years people didn't want tokens in laundries and had heard a lot of horror stories about tokens and why you shouldn't be using tokens to the point where most distributors try to discount tokens. I can tell you that we're manufacturing tokens. We're manufacturing more tokens now than ever for use in coin laundries, in car wash, and in any other situation instead of customers putting in change. The reason for the tokens, number one, the biggest reason is security. If you're in a situation where your coin boxes are constantly being broken into or money's being removed from those boxes, again, the silent partners that we've heard talked about here this afternoon, one of the easiest ways to accomplish a guard against that is converting everything in the store to the tokens. You don't necessarily have to convert everything to tokens. You can, on the coin mechanisms a lot of times that are already there, or on a coin mechanism that you can easily purchase relatively inexpensively and buy, you can have the capability of accepting quarters and tokens in the machine. Now remember that a token has no value until you give it a value. So by simply converting the tokens, you now can have a coin in the laundry that you can set the value at whatever you want it to be. Whether it's 50 cents, whether it's $1, whether it's $2, you could have a token that's valued at $5. If the token was valued at $5, how easy would it be now to start that $10 wash? That's only 2 tokens. As time goes on, you can adjust the value of that token however you want to. So if your tokens are 50 cents today, as inflation goes up, you can make that token worth $1. What it does, though, is eliminate a lot of the coinage that you're dealing with. It eliminates a lot of the vandalism issues that you might have in a location, and not to say that your location you have vandalism issues, but in a lot of locations they do. So this is something that we're offering as an option, again, as an alternative. Going back to the alternative payment systems, though, keep in mind that for credit card, I can vend tokens. So now I've got a 50 cent or $1 or $1.50 or a $2 value token that I can simply go back to the changer, right where everybody's been getting change for years and years and years, and add a reader to that changer that accepts credit card or cash and gives you those tokens back as change. So if it's a $2 token, if you put in a $10 bill, it gives you 5 tokens. Put in the credit card, charge $30 on the credit card, it would give you 15 tokens. So it's a simple way in any location to convert that credit card into something that they can use in every machine without having to add anything to each machine. It's not possible. I mean, it isn't, what do I want to say here? It isn't going to necessarily work in every application, but there are some applications where maybe the token might make sense. If that's a possibility in your location, if it's something that you might want to consider, we can talk about it a little bit more in the back of the room and talk about more of the opportunities that you can do with tokens, but just keep in mind that it can be a simple way to accept credit cards throughout the store without adding another system. Ultimately, the credit card readers on each machine are certainly going to be the most advantageous to the customer. They're going to be the easiest for the customer to use. They're going to be the simplest, but they're also going to be a lot more expensive than converting your location to tokens and putting a reader on the changer that's already there. So just something else to think about, and something that we're finding is something that a lot of laundry owners are beginning to look at when you're looking at this whole credit card thing, because like everybody's already said 100 times, the credit card's not going away. What's going to be the best way for you to take advantage of it in your store? That's what we're trying to do here, is to present to you all of the different alternatives. Then you need to decide, okay, where am I going to step with this? The conversion to tokens could be a simple step up. If you wanted to take 5 machines and convert them to accepting tokens, you put in a small changer that accepts credit card and vends tokens, you can very simply answer the question of how many people are coming into my store that want to use debit card and credit card. And if you find that all of a sudden that's a lot of your business, maybe now you realize that you've been losing money all along by not accepting credit cards. Now you've made that very simple step to prove to yourself that credit card was necessary. Now you don't feel so bad about spending the money to put a reader on all of the machines, so you're not losing anything by trying the credit card to token option. And you might find that that's all the further you ever need to go.
Is the token the same size?
Token can be whatever size that you want it to be. It's not going to be exactly the same size as a quarter. But there are coin acceptors out there, and I know you were telling me that you have multi-coin acceptors in there now. You have 2 coin acceptors. So if your washer or dryer has the capability of putting in 2 coin mechanisms, you can just leave one for quarters, leave the other one for a $1 value or $2 value or 50-cent value token.
So it wouldn't go in the quarter mix?
It will if you replace the coin mechanism. There's 2 companies manufacturing coin mechanisms, one of them being Imanex, and I've been fortunate enough to stand by the Imanex booth at several of these laundry shows, and we've been very successful in teaming up off of each other. Actually, the last one was up in Minnesota, and he would talk to somebody about tokens, and then he would lead into me and say, and was that machine over there, if you talk to Pat, he can show you how you can accept credit card and then tokens. You're not losing anything. You're still able to accept quarters. You're still able to accept dollar coins, but you're also able to accept, let's say, a $1 value token. And they're doing that very successfully in a lot of the stores in the Minnesota area. It's starting to gain some traction. The fact that Brian mentioned it in his talk proves to me that they're talking about it in other areas of the country as well. So just to toss it out there and say this is an option, this is an alternative, it's just one more thing for you to think about. when you're trying to make the decision of where do I go with the credit card. Any questions on that? Okay. The other thing that Michael just talked about, if you have an American Changer now, you're going to get a little extra bonus. We brought along some of our little kits, our maintenance kits, and what we found over the years is that we include a service manual for all the major problems that you might have in a changer. And as we said, the changer obviously is extremely important. You have to make sure that it's running properly and that it's there making change when you're not there to be able to do it. So there's a lot of hints in the manual to help you through a problem that you might have with the machine. But occasionally, or not occasionally, a lot of times people will say, okay, well, everything's working great. So they come up to us at a show, but they say, but what can we do to keep the problems from occurring? What can we do as a proactive, as Jeff was saying, to make sure that the changer is working? So we put together a little what we call changer maintenance kit. And in this box, we've assembled some components that, even though we put them together for our changer, they really will work in just about everybody's changer. So whichever changer you have, there's probably something in here that would be beneficial for you to keep that changer operating a little bit better. Specific to our machine, it comes with a set of instructions that shows you what to do with each of the components. And I'm just going to take a couple of minutes and show you what's in the kit and give you some uses for each one of those pieces. First of all, and probably the most important piece that's in there, and regardless of whose changer you have, it has a bill acceptor in it. Everybody's bill acceptor gets dirty, and occasionally you want to be able to clean it out. There are a lot of cleaning cards on the market that you can purchase. You have to be extremely careful because a lot of those cards are alcohol-based. You don't want to get an alcohol-based card because if you use that card in the bill acceptor, you're going to do more damage than you're going to do good, because there's rubber belts in there and there's plastic components in there that if the alcohol gets on those components, it's going to cause them to check and wear and break sooner than they might if you hadn't done anything at all. So we searched and found one that was detergent-based. So you just simply tear it open, you have the changer on, you present it to the bill acceptor, it takes it in, spits it back out, but on that way in and out, it's cleaning everything in its path. So it's cleaning up the heads if you happen to have magnetic heads in it, it's cleaning the belts, and you'll find when you put it in there that after a couple of times putting it in and out, you'll have 2 black stripes right down both sides of the cleaning card, so you know it's doing something. We recommend doing that about once a month. Anybody's bill acceptor, doesn't matter whose it is. We offer 3 different manufacturers of bill acceptors in our changers, and this works great in all of them. It even works for credit card readers. You take the same card and swipe it up and down through the credit card reader, and it'll clean that magnetic head so that it'll not be rejecting as many people's cards. Right along in that same vein is a multi-surface cleaning swab. And what this is in there for is if you take apart the bill acceptor, you'll see that there's a little, on every bill acceptor, there's a little window of some sort and little electronic sensing eyes. Those eyes can build up lint and dirt, so you just want to take the cleaning swab, tear it open, get in there and clean up anything that looks like it might be an eye that's looking at something else. And it's no different than washing the windows. If you can't see out that window, you can't see as well as if the window's clean. Same thing in a bill acceptor. If there's a sensor under that piece of plastic or glass that's trying to look at the bill, but that piece of glass is dirty, you're going to get a bill rejected that wouldn't have been rejected if that had been clean. So just a good idea, about once a month, just use both of those components on the bill acceptor, get them cleaned up, and they'll work a lot better for you. Also, we're including a can of compressed air. This is great for any kind of electronics, but specifically in our machine, inside of the bill acceptor, or anybody's bill acceptor for that matter. Again, in the laundry, you have a lot of dust and lint that builds up. Flecks around, so you open up the inside of the bill acceptor and you see this lint everywhere. You just take this, put the nozzle on, spray it around everything on the inside of the bill acceptor, and it cleans all that lint out. Also, in the, where did I put my hopper? On our hopper, there's a window in the front, and the coins that are dispensed out of the hopper fall past that window. It has a little sensor in it. What happens in a laundry situation is lint will get up behind that little window, the sensor gets blocked, the coins are coming out, and we can't see the coins. That means there's coins coming out that aren't being counted. So you use this compressed air to get up in there into a place where you can't reach, blow that in there, blows the lint out of it, and then it starts counting the quarters properly again. We also have in here a can of silicone spray. You do not want to use a silicone spray on the bill acceptor. Silicone spray and bill acceptors don't mix at all. Where you do want to use this is on the hopper, and I asked Mike on the standard changer if there was anything on that hopper that required maintenance or lubrication, and he said that in their machine it doesn't. On ours, there's a plastic track that goes around the hopper, and that track over a period of time will eventually get dry. As it gets dry, the motor that's in there can't pull it. It grinds down, strips the gears, and pretty soon you're replacing everything in the inside of the hopper. So you can just very simply take the cover off when it's laying on its side like this, take the can of silicone, you lift it up just enough that you can see that orange track, and you just spray that track and then you put it back together. Do that about once a year, the hopper will work a lot better for a lot longer. Lastly, there's, and this is again pretty specific to our changer, but can be used in everybody's changer. Every hopper payout system in a changer has some sort of sensing the coins that are in the hopper. There's some metal pads down in the bottom of the hopper, someplace that we're passing a current through those pads, and by the coins laying across those metal pads, they're completing that connection, and that's how we know that there's coins in there. If the coins are laying across it, but those pads are dirty and corroded, you're going to get a situation where the hopper is full of coins, but the light's on that says the machine is empty. So you know that it's not empty because there's a bunch of coins in there. Take all the coins out, dump them out, and you take one of those pads, and in our hopper, when it's empty, it's very easy to look down inside of the hopper, and there's two brass V-shaped pads down the bottom of the hopper. That's what I want to get to with this little cleaning pad. Just reach down in there and scrub up those pads, get them all cleaned up and shiny, and you're good to go again. Again, do that about once a year. Keep those pads clean, and you won't be getting the false error messages on the hopper payout system. This pad is people say, well, can I use steel wool, or can I use sandpaper, or can I use some kind of abrasive cleaner? The pad is the best because it doesn't rub off. Sandpaper and or steel wool will leave little bits of other residue in the bottom of the hopper, and again, it's going to do more damage than good. So this little Scotch-Brite pad is the best thing for cleaning up those sensors down the bottom of the hopper. Those things are all included in the kit. Each of the components, like if you buy the kit and you want more cleaning cards, we sell all of the components separate. So you can replace any one of the components in here and not have to buy the whole kit again. The kit sells for about $30 and can be ordered from our customer service department or right here from Star Distributing in their service department. Okay, any questions?